Hello, I'm Marla and I am raising Cain. I'm going to do some really fun, patriotic looking and USA 4th of July looking crafts, and we're going to start out with these cute little girl ornaments. These came from Hobby Lobby. They were maybe marked $2.99 each, but you know how they do 40% off. And I loved the cuteness of them. I loved their faces. I loved the fact that they were holding flags, but I did not love the glitter on the flags and their hair bows. So what I did was I took a sanding block and I really rubbed hard for a good little while, and I got most of the glitter off, but not all of it. Now, to make it look as old as the rest of what I enjoy decorating with, I just am using a little bit of antique wax on a brush and then dabbing it back off with an old rag so that it ends up looking like something that was maybe from that era, the 40s. That's my favorite. It's my favorite decade of old things, I think, 1940s. I think it's that World War II charm that's just beautiful of it. Vintage tin dupes. Now, I would love to have some vintage tins that say, campfire marshmallows, Cracker Jack, all that. There's lots of beautiful Pinterest images of these things, but they're hard to find, and when you do find them, they're quite expensive. So I just thought maybe I could take a couple of containers. That was an oatmeal container, and here is a coffee container that still has coffee grounds. I didn't realize quite how many were still in there, and they got all over the place, but at least my workbench now smells like coffee. Okay, this craft will not pass the 3-inch test, but it does pass the 3-foot test. And what I mean by that is if you get this thing up to close to your face, you are going to see that it is not legit. It is not the real thing. It is a dupe. It is a craft. But from 3 feet away, it's pretty darn convincing. So in order to get these printouts, I usually just send my stuff to Staples because it's less than $1 for a color print, 59 cents I think, for a color print, and it's cheaper than using up the ink in my jet printer, inkjet printer, or I've got a laser printer, but those, talk about expensive, those are truly expensive, the cartridges for that. So I just send it to Staples. It's not too far down the road from me, and the images are, I searched and searched for up close images. I typed in vintage campfire marshmallow tin and ended up finding this particular label graphics. Someone who was selling one had taken some pretty good photos up close of this particular tin. But guess what? When you take a photo of a round object, it has, a warping effect. So it's quite the challenge to get, it would have been better if I had been able to get a copy of a flat label that was not on the round tin. But these campfire cans, I think it's actually printed onto the tin, so you're never going to get that. And I have done graphics for 30 years. I know that there are ways, but the current software that I'm using, you can't do it easily or quickly. So I decided that because the word campfire, look, it says finest quality, but look, it is not the finest quality of Frankensteining it together. But by the time I finish, it's believable. It's doable until I can get one that's authentic. And whatever, maybe I can be happy with this anyway. But because the word campfire is arched, it kind of is not as obvious that it's not perfectly aligned. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of distorted because it was photographed off of a round object. So it's got a curve to it, but the word campfire is arched over. So what I'm doing to hide the places where I have cut and pasted, I'm just taking different colors, elephant gray and that hazelnut. Is that what it is? Hazelnut? Nutmeg. I can never remember the color of that brown. I'm taking little pieces, bits and dabs of that plus the antique wax, and I'm just blending it together so that I'm making more of that rusty, distorted, not distorted, just ugly. Now, I did luckily find a really good image, nice and flat, of the Cracker Jack boy. And I don't know why I didn't just go ahead and paint the brown oatmeal box. I should have just gone ahead and painted it with plaster all over, because I was thinking, there's not much space in between. I did 3 of them, which I'm sure that's not how the real things are, but for my purposes, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and print out 3 of these and do 3 all the way around each, each side, and because I didn't have an image of the back label. So here I go, painting as I go, Mod Podging as I go. It's a hot mess. I'm not a neat crafter. I'm a happy crafter. Happy camper and happy crafter. I like to just enjoy what I'm doing, and sometimes I get so into the moment I a little bit forget that I'm actually filming myself doing it, and that it might be better for tutorial purposes if I would do certain things a certain way. But I mean, what you see is what you get. And also, Anastasia, I think you said stream of consciousness when I'm describing things. It just comes out of my mouth as it crosses my mind, and there's not a whole lot of filtering or editing, and I certainly don't write a script. Who's got time for a script? And besides, I don't want it to sound like I'm reading a script, because you don't do that with actual friends, and that's how I feel about you guys. I feel like we are more friends than performer and audience, because this is amateur hour here. I hope to bring you quality content that you enjoy watching, but it's not going to have the same kind of professional shine to it as something produced by HGTV. Now, that's a good goal, but I'm certainly not there. I'm dabbing around on that very shiny metal so that it looks old, and I'm really pleased. Like I said, I think it passes the 3-foot test. As I zoom in, you're probably going to get like within 10 inches, or wow, we're within 6 inches, and you can see the edges of my paper. I could have done a better job. I could have measured more carefully and made the lines line up with the edges of those red stripes, and it would have been even less visible, and I wish I had done that. But you can benefit from my mistakes, and you can make yours look even better than mine. And if you want a copy of these images, email me. My email address is in the description box, and I'll send you the printout images so that you can print your own. Okay, painted spindles. I am notorious for stopping on the side of the road and rescuing any old chair or baby crib or anything that's got fantastic spindles on it, and I'll stand right there and break the spindles off of whatever it is. Or if I'm in my truck, I'll just throw the whole thing in the back of the truck and carry it home, and then I will take all kinds of tools and hammers and sledgehammers and stuff to it until I'm able to get those spindles free. Well, I think that just doing a quick little dry brush wash, well, now I'm saying dry brush, but I'm putting a good bit of paint on it, but I'm not carefully getting down into every little groove and crevice, because that ends up giving the effect that it's dirty or worn or aged down in those spots where your brush doesn't hit. When you're dragging the brush across the top, you're not going to get down inside all the places, and that's good. I didn't want it to. That blue ended up a little bright, and I went back at the end. You'll see I'm going to use a coat of antique wax over that blue because it just looked a little brighter than I wanted. The Waverly colors I'm using are ocean blue, plaster, and lacquer. The ocean blue and the lacquer are so old that that red was kind of just like a blob in the bottom, and the ocean blue, the last couple of times I've opened it up, it's had a curious mixture and smell to it, but I'm still using it. I'm a very thrifty and frugal kind of person, and unless it's just absolutely unusable, I'm going to try to use it up, because if I'm rebuying expensive paints, that's less money for thrifting. Okay, here's the antique wax, and I'm just putting it down in that little, I think that might be a NyQuil cup, and if you put a little water with it, it makes it more subtle. But this is absolute trash that you can make into something pretty cute. I think it's pretty cute. I really love it. And I'm sure that these were a broken chair at one time, and maybe not even all the same chair. The holes, of course, is where the pieces fit into one another. And if you got spindles that were off the back of a chair, it's probably not going to have any holes in it, but those seem to be off the leg of a chair. And in that clear big mason jar, I thought they looked really sweet. Now let's make a rooster a Patriot. I've had this rooster over 10 years, and I remember buying it at Big Lots, and it was in the outdoor furniture section back there at the back of the store, and I have enjoyed it. Turquoise is my lifetime favorite color. All the family of turquoise and teal and aqua. I love all that. But I am willing to do something new with my rooster that I've had so long, and I've used it a lot. So I went ahead and put the elephant gray over the whole thing and let that dry thoroughly. And now I'm putting plaster over it. And the reason that I did the gray first is because I felt that turquoise was really strong, and it would take something dark or multiple coats of the plaster in order to keep that turquoise from showing through, because I didn't want it to end up looking like an aqua rooster. I wanted it to look like an off-white or a cream rooster, and then we're going to distress it as well. I did come back and do a second coat of the plaster, so we've got 1 elephant gray and 2 of plaster, and I didn't do a primer because I was okay with a little bit of it scraping all the way back down to the turquoise. Now I'm using fabric that I just happen to have, some gingham and some ticking stripe, and if you know the trick of how to get it to have a frayed edge, you make a little 1/2-inch snip at the edge of your fabric and then tear it, and then when you remove those strings, that's going to leave behind a really pretty little frayed edge. The strings are part of the fabric that just has come apart. Now these pip berries are from Hobby Lobby, and they were only, I think, $2.99, but 40% off. So that's really economical, and I love the ones that have the red, white, and blue, and I do like the darker red. Some of the, if you'll notice, there's a variation of the types of red you're going to see on those pip berries. Some are very bright, and some are more burgundy, and I like the darker ones. Okay, so now it's time to mix up, and I got an extreme high amount of big blob of that hazelnut. I did nutmeg. Oh my word, why can I not remember the name of that brown? Okay, I mixed with elephant paint or elephant gray and plaster, and that little thing I'm using to mix in is the lid of a jar candle. That's in particular, that's the ones that Aldi sells. I think they're $4.20 per jar candle, and they have really good scent, and I like those. So, and I love Aldi, by the way. Okay, so I'm mixing it up, and I'm not getting it all the way down into all the crevices. I want this to be quite irregular, and you can already see in one spot, because I did not put a primer, I did make a deep enough hard enough wipe with my rag that it went all the way down to the turquoise, and I expected that. I knew that was going to happen, and I wanted it to. But I'm trying to be careful about how much of it comes out. And I've also got a bowl of water over there that I wash my paintbrushes in, and also am dipping my rag in it to make it so that I can control how dark this wash process that I'm doing. I also didn't completely mix the brown, the gray, and the off-white paints so that I could vary the different shades that I'm using. I can get a little more of the brown on some of my paintbrush strokes, or a little more of the gray, and it helps give a nice natural variation so that it doesn't look so much like it came off an assembly line in a factory. I mean, of course, I'm going to use things that came off an assembly line, but what we're going for here is a more handmade and especially time-worn kind of look. So I'm going to continue that process all over, and at some point you're going to see that because my rag is wet and the paint is wet, it soaked into all the layers enough that when I picked it up and my finger pressed into the rooster, it caused everything to scoot just a little bit under my thumb. And I said, oh wow, this is fantastic, because where it scooted, it looked like crackle paint finish, and it was allowing a little bit of the turquoise from way down, its original color, to peep through. So once I just realized that that was happening, then I started to do it on purpose. I think coming up soon here, you'll see the moment where I discovered that that was a happy accident that I figured out. Yeah, here we go. Now I'm doing it on purpose. I'm going to go around to other spots and push and see which places will allow a little bit of the whole thickness of paint to scoot. There we go. See? Now, I don't know a name for that. That's just a happy accident, and I went with it because I enjoyed the way that that was looking, the effect of it. And I was getting excited that it was giving a very authentic look. And then I got my crackle stamps. I've got one. This is my original crackle stamp that's from Stampendous, and I can't find it anymore. Stampendous or Stampede? I don't know. I can't find it for sale anymore, but I did find another one that I will try to remember to link for you. This one is currently available on Amazon, and I don't remember the brand, but it's silicone, and it will mold itself to the shape of whatever you're stamping. I mean, these things I think are created for flat paper, like scrapbooking, stamping little cards or other things like that. But it occurred to me a while back that I could use my crackle stamp on any kind of thing, whether it was a rooster or a wooden step stool or a chair, anything that you want it to look like it has old crackled paint. You can do this, and you can control exactly where the crackle effect is happening. Now it's time to put the strips that we already tore. I'm doing a square knot, which is left over right and right over left, and that makes a really pretty little neat knot. And I'm doing it especially loose. I don't want it to look like he's wearing a dog collar. I need it to be loose and low. So I did the two different kinds, and then I'm going to loop the pip berries, which I guess you noticed I wrapped them around a paintbrush to give that wire a twisted look. I just think he's very handsome, and I like the way this particular rooster is looking back over his shoulder. I think that's sassy. I like that. It's cute. But I still see a little bit of the turquoise coming through, so I'll always remember that he used to be my turquoise rooster. But you could do this with just any kind of figurine that you find at the thrift store. This is a good method. Now, this eagle silhouette is quite the project. And I gotta say, when I saw this image here on Pinterest, I just really, really wanted one. Obviously, I mean, it looks like it's wood to me, really thin plywood. I took the image and just projected it on or cast it to my TV. I can't explain to you how to do it on your TV. I taped a piece of tissue paper, just like gift wrap paper, to my TV screen, and then I took a highlighter because I didn't think that that would, you know, a hard pencil would have maybe possibly damaged your TV screen. And I was a little nervous that I was making a purple outline on my TV screen, but it didn't go all the way through. I tried to take a very light touch. Well, I did have a piece of very thin plywood, Luan, but it wasn't quite the right size or shape, and I would have had to turn it diagonally. And then I got to thinking about how hard it was going to be to use my jigsaw to cut that out. So I said, you know, let's do something different. Let's just do it on cardboard. I ended up picking up this cardboard at the Dollar Tree because I had to go anyway. And it's one of those project pieces that it's like a trifold kind of thing. So it's got these deep creases on a little section to the left and right. Please excuse my crazy head of hair. I did not realize that was happening upon filming, but you know, this is my life. Okay, so I'm using this, but I'm saying if you would use cardboard that's all one piece, it would save you a little trouble. Now, I am using a hard carpentry pencil that's got a thick lead in it to press down and make just enough of an impression into the cardboard that I can then lift up the tissue paper and just run my pencil along the impression that it made, the indentation it made. I'm going to use just an X-Acto knife. This happens to be one that came from the Dollar Tree, $1.25, and then you just do a little sawing motion up and down, and you can cut out the whole entire thing. And you got to be a little patient. It'll take a little while to do it. But now, see, those creases are really bothering me. I do think this would turn out better in wood, but I was willing to try it on the cardboard just to see. And you know what else? You could make it so that it would fit onto one of those styrofoam poster boards, and that would not have creases. I think that would work. Okay, I'm having to make stronger the little claw feet and the tip of his tail, and then all the way across the wings. I'm just hot gluing these jumbo craft sticks in order to just make the whole thing stronger, because I have decided that to cover up you can see the corrugation of the cardboard just a little bit, and you can definitely see those creases where it used to be a trifold project board. So I'm going to shore it up so that it's strong enough to be covered with a coat of spackling. Now, I just live dangerously. I know that this is dangerous. You don't know if this is going to all crackle off. You don't know if it's going to stick. You don't know what's going to happen. But I'm willing to take the chance on your behalf. But I still say I think it would turn out better if you had someone skilled with a jigsaw or a bandsaw, and they made this thing out of Luan or thin plywood for you. I think that would be best. Or maybe, you know, maybe you are really skilled with that. I happen to not be. I have a bandsaw that's never come out of the box because I've just never been brave enough to get it out, because I keep having visions of cutting my fingers off. I don't know why. Okay, I'm smoothing it out and realizing that the wide smoothing thing was making it go down into the cardboard and just repeat the ridges of the corrugation, and I didn't like that, so I just kept using the little spatula thing and just putting it on like cake icing. I'm just putting it on in sections, wiping it back and forth, and then after that I took a dry chip brush, and while the plaster was still wet, I dragged it across to give it a little bit of uniform texture.
That's a cute high chair.
You like it?
Yes.
Pick it up. Pick just a little bit of stuff. The brush is too wet.
What's that mean?
It looked at you.
I don't see anything.
I'm just trying to decide how to do this. I don't know. Okay. Now I gotta use a dry brush. Dry it off a little. Maybe a wet brush to smear it out a little. There we go.
Margaret, we're making the eagle. We're making the eagle? Yeah, it's so huge. Can I try to make it?
Well, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I will let you watch.
Let me get this off.
Okay.
Why did you bring a hair blower in here?
Well, sometimes I use it to get stuff dry.
Hey, what's
Why don't
this
you
one?
stand over here by Claire, and that way I can see your sweet face in the picture. Oh my gosh, that is not what I wanted.
What?
It's doing something. It's doing something.
What is it doing?
It's getting too much on there.
Mom.
Well, it just is.
Hey, Maggie.
What?
I've seen videos of you showing this and this. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Maggie, where can I stand?
Over here by Claire.
Where did you see pictures watching stuff?
I'm trying to kind of make it look like it's made of wood. So I'm doing some streaks, and my rag has got coffee grounds in it from that other craft I did.
What other craft?
Well, I used a coffee can to make it look like a marshmallow can.
Marshmallow can?
Y'all want to be on my video? Next time you watch a video on your TV at your house, you can be on my video. Woo, my girls. Okay.
Now can they see me again?
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is harder to do than I thought. Because this, guess what? The spackle isn't truly dry, but I can't wait any longer. You know why I can't wait any longer?
Why?
Because I'm not patient. And I want to put this video on YouTube by tomorrow morning. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's still videoing.
Now the ladies that watch my videos, dang it, I keep forgetting which paintbrush is in my hand. And it makes me do stripes I don't mean to do. I'm trying to blend it out.
What ladies?
The ladies that watch my videos that are my friends on YouTube. You want to say hi to my friends? And I think I have a few gentlemen who watch my videos. Analytics say that 8% of my viewers are men, but they don't make comments.
Who made this?
That is just sitting there, just as cute as can be, all by itself, left over from something else.
Cool.
Hold on, I'm getting in a little bit of a crisis. Hold on.
Wow, that looks really old.
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make it look like it's like somebody found it in a barn and it's like 100 years old. But wow, I have really messed something up over here. That one's I thought that place was too much. Let me see if I can smooth it out with water. You know, when I was a little girl, I used to just do all kinds of crafts and experiments, and I didn't know how it would turn out. And I'm still doing it. And I'm getting to be an old lady now. And I'm still doing all the same things that I used to do.
Why do you like old stuff?
Well, I think because...
Is the white stuff even raw?
Huh?
Is the white stuff dry?
Well, sort of. Not really. We need to kind of use the hairdryer on it. You want to blow the hairdryer on it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go get it.
Okay.
I mean, reach for it down there.
First, can I say hi to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, put the... Hi. Yeah.
Say hello.
We're making our first video with Maggie, and we never done it before. So look at my eyes.
You're fascinated with yourself, aren't you? Okay.
That's funny, Margaret.
That's funny, Margaret. Okay.
Why do you copy Claire?
She's not copying.
I mean, you're copying. That's a wet pad. This is a tangled thing right here. It's hot.
What are you? Oh, watch out! I'm turning my camera over. Okay. It's already plugged up, so all you have to do is turn it on. Yes, you can have a snack. Go to the kitchen and just dig around. Does that make you happy? It's not hurting you, Claire. It's loud, but it's not hurting you. Okay, just blow all over it. So here my eagle is hanging above my piano, and he looks pretty good. I don't know how durable he's going to be for the long haul. I think I'm going to have to treat him pretty gingerly, but the effect turned out really pretty. I think he looks believable, and I think he looks cute, but I would recommend actually using plywood. I have gathered just the 4th of July looking, patriotic looking things that I have recently collected. The slide whistle came from, oh gosh, what's the Tractor Supply? Yeah, Tractor Supply place. They have a few vintage items, and when I go in there, that's what I look for. I think it was about $4. But it looks, I love the old nostalgic packaging. And you'll remember from a recent thrift haul that I found that Corningware knife. I had the books, the Story of America, and the other ones that say things about American history. And I don't know where I got that twine that's red and jute mixed. I love it. In fact, that's what I used to hang my eagle. I also put a nail under each of his wings to help support the weight. Now I can still see those fold marks. But I've decided that I'm not going to let it just really keep me from enjoying him, because he almost looks like he's made of old metal. And, you know, if you were good at metal cutting, you could even make one of metal, I guess. It'd be kind of sharp, though. But I'm just going to enjoy him as he is. And there are my enamelware pots and pans. And I love the red, I love the blue, and I'll try to do more patriotic things toward the 4th of July. In the meantime, be blessed. I love you all.